Glyn Trott, are estate letting agents missing a huge trick with their data they're sitting on? Talk to me.
The data is everything in a business, but it's probably one area that most agents don't value. So I'll give you a really good example is what goes in quality. Somebody, you spend all that time, energy and money attracting that buyer, that applicant, that landlord, that vendor, keying them into the system and then just letting it sit there. So CRM systems were great of adding lots more places to add more information about that person, that client, and then it just sitting there. So we've spent a lot of time learning the craft manually. Let's do the export. So my agency at the time. And we've now taken that into using it in the software. So really your software should be sorting this for you and giving back that data with prompts to make those calls.
But agents aren't very good at cold calling or prompt calling, are they?
No, but it's about the keeping in touch piece, isn't it? People don't like that immediate code call. You say code call, horrible. I had a great insight from an agent the other day, and they would not let so when the agent got the sale, they couldn't mark the sale as under offer for their bonus scheme until they did a call out, doing the 2020 either doors, just to let you know, then down the street, it's just, we've taken an offer for this amount of money. Based on that, what do you think your property's worth? So they tied it into the bonus.
That's quite clever.
That is very clever, because now I cannot get that property into my bonus scheme without making those calls. Now with software, the piece about calls is people say...
How do you manage that? How do you make people accountable? How do you
just about
prove
say,
that?
the key is acknowledging in your systems then I've made that call. Then when you make that call, did I get a connect? Did I speak to them? Did I leave a message?
Does your system allow you to basically pick up anyone whose house is to sell within a certain radius of that house?
Yeah, you can search, postcode search on some different things. But also when the call's made, we basically say, when you're adding a note, what was it? Was it an answer phone? Was it engaged? Did you speak to them? And that's the bit you want to look at. And what I would say is start to league table your people in the business, the people who make the most calls to the people who make the least amount of calls, who's doing well, who's doing not. And it's not the sort of league table to hit people with a big stick. It's the people at the top, go and share all your insights and what you do with the people at the bottom and get them moving up and down the table.
You see, the wife and I, we've been thinking of moving for the last 6 months and put ourselves on mailing lists.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not getting anything back.
Yeah.
No, I've had one phone call, and you could tell I'm just ringing it to see if you found anywhere.
Okay, a bit robotic.
It was awful, mate. It's absolutely awful.
So in systems, we've got a thing called Agent Lead, and all it's doing is it's automatically mining our client's database, presents the lead with a prompted call script.
Right.
And here's the interesting insight: only about 5% of my client base use it. So I'm handing it on a plate in the front of the system, and still only 5% of my client base using it.
What, so it automatically does it for them?
It gives them, here is a buyer that you've registered with a property to sell, call them with this script.
Is that a lack of training, or is that a lack of accountability with bosses?
I think it's that drive. If it's really important to the owner, really important, they just don't give up. What happens is I think people experiment with it. They'll give it a go. And actually, when you're dealing with your front of office staff, they kind of dread it. The really great ones know that if I make those calls, 10 calls, I'll get at least 5 connects, I'll get 1 outcome. But ultimately, as an owner, if you dabble, then eventually it'll just tail off that little bell curve. If you're committed, it's really important to you, it will stick and stay.
Do you think this is an issue with millennials?
If your business has a call-out session, 9 till 10, and if you come and work for me, we make those calls no matter what. We don't read emails. From that, you get more prospect, more leads, which eventually will pay you more, and that's how we do it. Then the people who don't want to do it won't come work for you. The people who do want to do it will come for you. And actually, the best people, I think, to do the call-out role are people who are parents who need that part-time working, because they will come in. It's an easy job for them to do. They are talking, and again, these timings of calls need to happen a little bit later in the evening as well.
So really, probably millennials who are a bit afraid of picking the phone up and prefer texting, they should be doing other roles and division of labour, as you say, and let the older generation who are not so afraid of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Interesting times. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.